Have you ever stated anything important in a room and felt totally ignored? Alternatively, you could be in a relationship where your comments lack the weight they should have. People tend not to pay attention when you try to converse. You start to question, why do they not value me? Today we are looking at one of the most unpleasant circumstances a man could come across: the impression of being discounted, underappreciated, or ignored. All of it is, after all, changeable. This video will present 10 solid lessons from Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers in history, to enable you to immediately command respect. Like the video, click the subscribe button and stay around till the very last, since this will transform your life, your relationships, your job, and most importantly, your mindset. If you are committed to changing your life and earning the respect you are due, respect is not something you find occurring naturally. It's earned, more importantly, nurtured from inside. Marcus Aurelius was rather skilled in this, oversaw the Roman Empire, one of the most powerful men of his day. He battled constantly with being abused by people under him, and even questioned by his own family. Marcus, on the other hand, developed a philosophy that not only won everyone around him respect, but also helped him to enjoy a contented life free of bitterness, therefore offsetting the contempt that pulled him down. His knowledge is timeless. Today, especially for men who feel their rightful respect is lacking, it is more vital than ever. Respect initially starts with you, actually. By the time this video ends, you will also know exactly how to handle the spheres of your life where respect is lacking. These 10 outstanding tips from Marcus Aurelius will enable you to dissect it and alter your view of other people. 1. Master yourself first. Think about the last moment someone treated you disrespectfully. Maybe it was your workplace, partner, or even close friend. That made you feel what? Irritated? Wounded? Empty with power? Let us now stop momentarily and consider what you might have done next. You rebounded. Then you withdrew, considering all the things you may have said or done. The unpleasant truth is that nobody else's treatment of you is under your control. They cannot be made to respect you, love you, or perceive your importance. Still, you can control your reaction. Your mind is under your control, not outer circumstances. You see, if you master yourself, your emotions, your reactions, your ideas, respect will come. You will find strength then. Imagine if someone tries to minimize you the next time. Instead of reacting emotionally, you remain cool, confident, and unaffected. The strength of that would be amazing. Nothing disturbs your inner serenity. Hence, view it as a test the next time you feel insulted. Evaluate your own mastery. Try not to behave without thinking. Keep centered. The change will be obvious. People start to respect you when they know you are in charge of you. Imagine yourself strong enough to just let it pass through you. Mastery is what you have here. Real respect also emerges from this. Ask yourself how often you have let someone else spoil your day. 2. Know your worth. Don't seek validation. Perhaps you leaned over backward, longing for someone to love you the way you wanted. So much loved someone, but they withdrew, instead of appreciating you. Has your relationship ever been one in which you felt as though you were continually proving yourself? Marcus Aurelius tells us, waste no more time debating what a good man should be. Be one. Stated differently, quit looking for approval. You lose someone's respect when you need their permission to feel deserving. For what reason? Since people value persons who already understand their value, they value those who stop now and think about your own romantic life. Ever tried to prove yourself to someone? Have you ever changed who you were to get their acceptance? Overblown apologies or over-explained? It is quite draining. Still, it sometimes feels as though they wander far away rather than earning their respect. Imagine if in your next relationship, you simply were yourself, rather than always trying to prove yourself. Knowing your value, you arrive totally and never ask for their approval. Respect and love will then follow. The secret is that respect results from non-searching behavior. 3. Don't complain or blame others. Go back to a time in your life when something went wrong. Maybe your marriage started to fall apart, or you missed that promotion at your place of employment. Your first reaction was what? Have you pointed the finger elsewhere? Perhaps you reasoned, if only they had done. Or, it's because of them that I'm in this situation. Marcus Aurelius warns us against this kind of thinking. Don't regret misfortunes, he says. Instead, turn them into teachings for personal development. The fastest ways to lose respect are complaining, blaming and stressing what is wrong. For what reason? You give away your power when you start blaming others. Let us now personally participate. Think back to a time in your romantic life when you were mistreated or ignored. Pointing fingers comes naturally to me. Perhaps they were not attentive enough, or perhaps they did not value your approach. But what if you owned what you could influence instead of complaining or assigning blame? Then ask yourself, what wisdom could I pick up? How could I learn from mistakes the next time? And notice how quickly respect crops up. 4. Led by example. Perhaps it was friend, mentor, or father. You remember that time when you looked up someone, not because of what they said, but rather because of their way of life? That is the authority of creating a model. It does not have to explain how one should be. Marcus Aurelius lived self-control, honesty, and intelligence every single day. He did not teach those things, and it is the reason people loved him. He lived rather than only studied Stoic concepts. Let us now turn this around for you. Think about your own life and your contacts. Are you merely talking about the person you aspire to be, or are you leading by example? Say one thing, yet do another. Share honestly. Words are not what people follow. They follow actions. Imagine if you only showed your friend or boyfriend, living it instead of guiding them what to do. You crave for respect? Be someone others would find inspirational. Let your behavior be so loud you rarely need to seek for respect. Imagine this. If you stopped talking about being loyal, honest, or dedicated in your relationship life, and you only became those things every single day, how would that change the dynamic? Consistent behavior is something people value. Start by modeling, and respect will follow naturally. 5. Control your temper. Perhaps it happened during a passionate argument with your partner, or when someone said something really triggering for you. You let your emotions grab hold at that moment. Then suddenly you found yourself saying or doing something you cannot undo. Then you start to feel as though the matter could have been handled far more sensibly. Marcus Aurelius came to the startling insight that how much more terrible are the consequences of anger than the causes of it. Stated differently, the damage following from losing your temper is usually far more serious than whatever first set you off. Marcus Aurelius trained this nonstop, remaining cool even in the face of rudeness or treachery. People even more loved him when they realized he wouldn't lose control and they could not shake him. When you feel wrath developing the next time, stop. Respiration. Remember that allowing that wrath will just make things worse. If you could remain calm under pressure, think about how your relationships may change. If you responded with composure and patience instead of snapping, such kind of control is much valued, since it shows that you rule your emotions rather than let them control you. 6. Practice humility. Your first impulse was what? Did you find yourself needing to show your correctness or defend yourself? Perhaps it was something minor, a forgotten anniversary, a remark that didn't sit right, or something more significant, like a breach of confidence. Your initial impulse was what? Did you find yourself needing to show your correctness or defend yourself? Marcus Aurelius advised, take full account of your own shortcomings and faults, and you know what? That's rather strong. Those who are confident enough to own their mistakes and not hesitate to declare, I was wrong, are respected. Marcus Aurelius thought the reverse, that humility helps us look strong rather than weak. People like those who are sincere, who own their shortcomings and work on them. They do not respect conceit. Getting the person who is ready to get better, but not perfect, will enable you to get more respect and affection. 7. Speak less, listen more. Look back to a time in your romantic life when you really felt misinterpreted. Perhaps you were trying to fix an issue, expressing your emotions, or opening yourself, but the more you said, the less you seemed to be getting through, though the relationship simply wasn't. Marcus Aurelius would counsel you that perhaps in that moment the answer was in what you were not doing, listening, not in what you were saying. It is the act of a madman to seek approval from those who cannot even govern themselves. He once said, what he means is that occasionally we fail to listen to what the other person is saying, or not saying, because we are so consumed in trying to be heard, in proving ourselves. One feels valued when they are heard, and you naturally get someone's respect in return when you can help them to feel understood. Imagine stopping and really listening in your next debate or conversation. Instead of trying to clearly express your point of view, not only of their words but also of the emotions behind them, imagine this. The next time a friend or boyfriend approaches you with a problem, you just listen instead of giving advice or defending yourself. You give them value since their emotions count to you. One acts in humility by listening. It's about releasing the need to constantly be perfect and instead try to see the other person's viewpoint. In relationships, it's not always about knowing just what to say. Often the most effective thing you can do is remain silent and listen. And that's where respect blossoms. Through the quiet times when you let someone know they matter, just by hearing her out. 8. Embrace solitude. Alternatively, if you are single right now and feel the silence to be insufferable, as if it is stifling, let us pause and think of a time you were lonely in a relationship. You still felt as though there was gap between you even then. Marcus Aurelius reasoned in reality that solitude is something to welcome rather than something to be feared. Alone, when embraced properly, is not about loneliness. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled refuge than in his own spirit. It is about relationship, that with oneself. Think of your own romantic life now. How often have you felt afraid of solitude? How often have you stayed in relationships that weren't good for you only to escape that sense of solitude? But suppose I told you that embracing solitude is the secret to commanding respect from others as much as from yourself. Avoid rushing to break the silence the next time you are by yourself. Try to divert yourself with noise or people unworthy of your attention. Instead, embrace solitude. Use it to introvert, develop, and reestablish your connection with yourself. You will discover strength in that still space. People will respect you for it. 9. Control what you can, let go of what you can't. Imagine this. You have been in a relationship, and things just do not seem as you had planned. Though you have done everything you could to make it work, something seems to be lacking. Frustration mounts and you begin obsessing on how you could have the other person change. Marcus Aurelius, among the best Stoic thinkers, would counsel you to shift your focus to something else. You have influence over your mind, not over outside events. This will help you to get strength. Said another way, stop trying to control what you cannot. The more you focus on changing other people or outside circumstances, you feel less powerful. Think now of your own romantic life. How much time have you spent fixating on the thoughts, behavior, or emotions of another person? And how often has it only left you feeling more disappointed and powerless? To win respect in your relationships, focus on your ideas, actions, and attitude, that which you can control. Stopping trying to control others and focusing on controlling yourself helps you to become more grounded, more centered, and finally more respected. Imagine if you paid more attention on how you are presenting yourself in your next argument or attempt to change the other person. You caught grip of your responses, attitude, and emotions. How would that alter the dynamic? How might the other person see you differently? People respect people who choose not to become caught in events beyond their influence. They respect those who, in front of all around them, remain cool under pressure. Let go of what you can control to release tension and annoyance. At that moment, respect organically follows. 10. Live with purpose. Let us now talk lastly on goal. Once, Marcus Aurelius said, Waste no more time debating what a good man should be. Be one. This is about recognizing your values and who you are, about living with intention, about connecting your behaviors with your values. Think about your personal dating life. Have you ever found yourself aimlessly unsure of your goal or destination? Maybe you have been in relationships that go against your real self, or have given sacrifices that left you confused. Living with intention means realizing your beliefs, goals, and life vision, and then remaining devoted to them. Living with purpose means you are not only passing through life. Every action you do and decision you make reflects your own values and intended path of personal growth. People who obviously have a goal are admired since it shows that one knows their direction. Neither outside circumstances nor other individuals have great influence on you. Having anchored yourself on your own course, you exude immense confidence. Thus, take into account, why are you doing this? What values define your profession, your personal growth, and your interpersonal life? Living with such clarity not only makes you respected by others, but also enables you to start respecting yourself on a whole fresh level. Conclusion. Marcus Aurelius offers you 10 solid lessons that will help you to command the respect you so richly merit. Recall, respect is not something you demand of other people. Your actions, attitude, and manner of life help you to grow inside. Should this video speak to you, kindly like, forward, and channel subscription. Your opinions in the comments would be much appreciated. What one action you would take today to gain more respect?